Good afternoon, everybody. I'm a little bit earlier today, but I was setting up everything and I was like, oh well, I'm ready to get started. Because I wanted to set up the environment variables and set up the Notion database. And then I thought like, oh well, I might as well document that for anyone out there who also wants to do the same. Would be a bit silly to do this whole building in public thing and then not show you exactly what I'm doing. I think today can either go two ways. One way, everything will be smooth sailing, will be done today with Notion integration. Let me turn down the music a little bit, it's distracting me. And the other way is that it... Alright. I will receive a package this afternoon. But back on topic. The other way is that it will be a bit more difficult to get everything up and running in Remix, because I've never did any data loading in Remix. I mean, we only touch front-end stuff, which is pretty similar if you use React, Next, or Remix. Which will mean that we probably spend a couple, maybe tomorrow as well, on the Notion integration. But I'll do my best to get everything done today, because that will be great. Hey Pat, welcome back, my man. How are you doing, buddy? So, where do we want to start? Let's start with setting up the database. I mean, I've created a blog before, which is currently my personal website, which sucks. I mean, it's okay, but I want to create a more beautiful website. Let's see. So, what I do like about this is that it's all pretty similar. I mean, let's have a look at Figma for all the types we need. Very good. Finally, winter break, 2 weeks, so I finished Mr. Roman next one. I can start with Python. Oh, nice. Winter break. In February? Yeah, maybe the vacations or holidays are a little bit different here in the Netherlands. Of course. It will differ per country. Great, man. This is not the right file. This is the right file. I'm listening, Poland. Let's see. So we need a title. We need... I think we can keep tags, as it's pretty common. So, okay, I got a type here, but that's not really necessary. Let's create a slug. I might actually want to look into if we can do something different for the slug here. Because now I have to make certain that every slug is unique all by just looking through my database. And I guess that's fine for now. Don't optimize things prematurely, but just a thing to keep in mind. I never struggled with this for the other projects, but hey, who knows? Which app? Upper right corner, right bottom corner, or on the left on my IDE? Wait, right bottom, that's Notion. It's basically a glorified note-taking app which supports tables and also, for instance, this is my little inbox file, which is just where I can type notes quickly. Recipes, which is just a database full of recipes. I have a finance page. On my side projects, which have their own little pages. I have some documentation for, let's see, Postgres, which are just some snippets. I think I have some CSS snippets in here. Yeah, masonry grid. It's pretty cool. Although, small disclaimer, I've switched to Reflect for all my personal notes because it's, I don't know, it suits me better. Notion I think Notion is great, not so much for note-taking, but more for running projects. So documentation and all that kind of fun stuff. And also for databases, it's great for that as well. But to quickly dot down a note, I rather use Reflect because I just need to type some text. I don't need all the fancy pages and pages and folders and folders. But let's continue. So we have Slug, we have a little summary. Okay, so we have title, we have summary, and we have an image. Now, I am wondering, the last time I checked the Notion API, media files weren't available. So let's see. Title, properties, property object is probably what I need to have a look at. Let's see. Property title, icon. Hey, they have a file object. Cool, so they... Yeah, exactly. Okay, so they added a file object, which is freaking great. Because now I no longer have to dabble around with setting up Cloudinary or any other type of image serving service. Image serving service. Great word. Let's see. Okay, so the only thing that is a little bit fucked is authenticated HTTP URL to the file. But I don't think that really matters, because each time a user will access my blog, it will just patch it. And I don't think I will cache things longer than an hour. I don't know. How is caching done in Remix? Oh shit, I want to keep this documentation open. So let's just create a new tab. Because I need to install environment variables soon. Cache. Remix Cloudflare has been pushing boundaries as computing warnings, position take full advantage of it. Yada yada yada. Art? Isn't there anything about cache? There isn't anything about cache. Okay, we'll just run with it and wait to see. I don't expect like thousands of people accessing my website. And if that's the case in a couple of months, we'll optimize it then. That's really one thing I'm learning this year. Don't optimize too soon. I mean, it's good to think of everything, but let's get at it once it becomes a problem. I mean, of course, you have to keep everything secure and safe. But if performance is a little bit lacking, especially on the cache side, or if an image is not loading when thousands of people access your website, as long as the content's there, I'm fine with it. If the image is not displayed, that sucks. It seems a little unprofessional, but I can fix that in a couple of days, maybe a couple of hours. So I will just go at it then. Let's see. DBs. So we have a title, slug, summary. We have a type and we have status. I really like the status because that helps me with status. Because that way I can... okay. I can add published. Or I can add published will be green. And I can add draft. And draft will be... what's a good yellow? Yeah. So I guess that's it. Let me just open this real quick. Let's see. This is the one I want to use. So we have a URL which we don't need. We have an image which we don't need. We have a social image which we also don't need. And that's something fun I thought of for a later stream once we published everything. And now that I think of it, I don't think I've added this to the after lunch. And that is that I want to make the social image out. Now, I think it's better described as automate the social images of the posts and pages. Everyone wants to be in contact with me. I've had a very quiet morning and I've hit the start stream button and everybody wants my attention. Okay, but what is this? Always reply to your mother. Oh, sheesh. It's going to be a storm. Oh well. I'm inside, happily coding. Okay, let me check this real quick. No further questions from me. The only thing I have to keep in the back of my mind is that there will be some package delivered to my house today. Okay, so we've added that to the list. Now let's see. So we have a title, slug, summary, text, and status. If we, and that's pretty much what I need here, right? What if I open this? I also, okay, I need a chronicle link. That's something I do need because I'm going to pull in all my posts from Remote 101 and Dev2 and whatever the actual F. I think maybe I'll turn it around for platforms like Medium and Dev2 that I originally post the content on my personal blog and then I chronicle link it on Dev2. I think that's the way it's going to work. Do I need a publish date? Do I need a publish date? I think so. I think so. Let's say published date. I can always change that. But this way I can filter on publish date. And it's also quite handy for people to see. I mean, it's in my design, right? If I go to the blog page with the title, we have published on. Maybe I can do that based on the tags. But how would I know if something has multiple tags? Published on Remote 101. How will I call this chronicle? I need a chronicle. I mean, that's the way you type it, right? Blog, chronicle, link. Chronological. How is this called? I mean, I know Dev2 has it. So if I go to dashboard, set up this, edit. Just make this a bit bigger. Text upload. Oh, this doesn't have a chronicle link. Ah. This is it. Okay, cool. Yes, leave the page. I don't want to edit anything. If chronicle source. Let's call it source. And let's do a no, not a multi-select. Let's do a select. Because that way we can maybe in the future create a filter with, for instance, Remote 101 or Dev2 or I don't know, Medium or whatever the fuck. So if it has a chronicle, then we can have this, then we can have the source. Text, I don't need it at the moment, but it's great to have one. So let's actually put some content in here, shall we? Let's just, I don't know. Let's remote 101 this motherfucker. Let's do this. Let's grab this. Let's see if we can just copy paste this. This is called "Don't let your home office become a prison." Open. Okay, cool. And now we can say don't let your home office become a prison. And then we have the little summary here. And we can say remote work. And then we also have the Chronicle link. Publish date was January 31. Chronicle link is this, which needs to be in your URL. And the source is Remote 101. Let's grab a couple of blogs. Maybe, do we also need, maybe I can do like files and media. And we can say like cover or like image. Or cover image. Image. Let's just call it image. Let's just grab this, move it here, choose file. Go to desktop, grab this image. How big is this image? It's not that big. And it will be uploaded to S3, so that's fine. Will I go ahead and do everything? Now, let's just, for the sake of this stream, and just grab 3 Remote 101 blog posts, my 2 Dev2 blog posts, and roll with that for now. I might actually copy over an old blog post from the other database, just for the fuck of it. So we have some content in here where we can work with. Then we just set the basic nation to 3 or 2 for now to see if basic nation work, and we can go from there. 4 tips for managing remote teams. Let's just do this in the summary. Let's grab this image again. Let's say choose file. This is this. Yada 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 yada. Grab this. Remote work. Let's just say published, because why not? This was published originally on December 7th. Then we have Chronicle link. Let's just first copy and paste everything in here. Yep. Okay, and then we can also just do this. Oh. And then this is the Chronicle link, and this is the original source. We have this. Oh, this is pretty. Let me just say this. It's going faster than I expected. This is remote work and manage. How do you manage? Management. I think that's the way you spell management, right? Let's just quickly. Yep. Then we say we can grab this one. We can grab this one. We can do remote work. And we can do like productivity. And we say it's published. And this was published on November 22nd. Take the link. Do like remote 101. Cool. And And now all I need to do is copy over this. Open this. Paste this. They improved the Notion API a lot in the past half year. Having those files in there is really time saving. I mean, now I no longer have to go to Cloudinary and upload something. I can even do this from my freaking phone if I'm away. I can update my blog via my Notes app. It's amazing. Now, but all I have to do is write more blogs. Oh well. Actually, stay tuned, because now that I know that the Notion API came this far, there's probably another publisher framework template coming in. But I have to talk. I have to talk and brainstorm with Sven about that. That would be pretty cool. 5 things I learned while working remotely. Yep, give me this. Let's get rid of the dot. Let's say remote work. Let's just scrap this one. Now let's grab the entire URL. Oh, why doesn't that work? Hello. Yep, Remote 101. This was published November 14th. And this is published. And now we have to grab the image. I freaking love this. I don't know. I hope I didn't shoot myself. If only writing more blogs was that easy. Yeah. I don't know. I was in the flow about at the end of the last year, but then I needed to go to projects, I needed to ideate, I needed to design stuff, I needed to set up the company, yada 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 yada. And before you know it, all your time goes to administrative shite. And worrying about how the freak am I going to make money and sustain myself. And that I'm still figuring out. I probably have to do some freelance work, but I first want to focus on my own projects. Oh well, I have a burn rate for like the end of the year, so I'm not stressed about it. But it would be nice to actually start making some freaking bugs. But hey, you can't make money if you don't invest in it first. Also, welcome back, Dragonia. Okay, now we have like 4 freaking blocks in here. Which is cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything is filled out. Let me just open this real quick. Everything is filled out. We have source, canonical link, publish date, status, tag, summary, image, slug. Let's also capitalize this, these nuts. Got him. Okay, start slug, image, summary, tag, status, publish date, canonical, source. That's pretty much it. Okay, now let's just grab the dev2 thingerinos. Dev2, my account, dashboard, set up your own Notion powered blog with Next.js. Yep. Let's just do this and choose an image. Oh, que pasa? Now I know how I can always make the slugs unique. Okay, let me write this down real quick. Where I'm going to write. Sheesh. Okay, let's open TickTick. Because I was worried that every thing had to be unique, but we can also do like something similar to this. Like, okay, this is the slug, which I filled out in the admin, and they also probably had some kind of ID behind it, and that's what I'm going to do. Hook up Notion, hook up post page, slug. Append ID after slug so we don't run into duplicate issues. Cool. Let's just stop it right here. Oh shit, this isn't WebP file. I probably still have it in Figma. Okay, so this is the render Notion images. Shit, did I not save it? Let me read this quickly. Can I just do like WebP to JPEG or something like or PNG? I don't care. Yep, give me this, do this, better. Up, upload, convert, thank you. Convert be save, desktop, cool. And now I can probably just, oh, okay, can't fit it in there, but this is the PNG. Oh, nice. How are we going to categorize this? Probably just the same way we did it here, like web dev tutorial Notion Next.js JavaScript. I mean, we're not going to use the text just yet, but better to have them right away so we don't have to add all the text afterwards. And this is going to be the canonical link for this. And we're going to say dev2. And let's also include the this one. Let's go to, let's go baby. Where did I, shit, WebP PNG. Let's close some freaking gabagoos. Choose file, render images, upload, convert, save. Yep, give me that. Okay, top. This one. Cool. Delete that one. That's saved. Now we can do this. And we can do this. And we retag that. And we do this. And then we go to web dev tutorial JavaScript Notion. I don't know if I actually need this one, but hey. People might be on the lookout for this, or like some sort of alternative way if they don't want to deal with the refreshing of the S3 thingy. And it also shows some I don't know. Shows the way I work, like if it's not supported, I will find a freaking workaround to make it work for me. Okay, so now we have a couple of blocks in here. Did I actually publish anything to my own blog? Oh, you know what? I can just search this database. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. There's nothing in here that I want to reuse. So let's just go with the Chronicle. let's go to downloads. Do I have any? Let's just grab. How big is this file? So, oh, everything is too big. Let's just go to remote 101 and pick a random image. Scroll down a little bit, grab this one. Do this, do this, do this, do this. You know what? Let's just use this copy as a placeholder. I don't know. Remote work management productivity. Published when like today. No chronicle whatsoever because this is an original post. Copy pasted everything. Now we should have enough in here to test out the API. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, so that's the first step taken. Okay, now we actually need to hook up some environment variables. Do they say anything about server environment variables on your server will be handled by your host? Yep. Okay, yeah, so it's just going to pull those from the server. So I need to install .env npm add -- save.env. Cool. And now we need like update the package. Do I need to do this? Now I'm confused. Let's just quickly create a .env local. And let's say some secret is equal to yada yada. Actually, .env don't need to be like .env doesn't need to be a string, right? It's just plain text which you put in there, if I remember correctly. Yada. Oh, you do need to put it in quotation things. Okay, now you can access things in your loader. So let's go to the root or to the index. That's fine. Let's say featured projects. I don't give a freaking. Do I have? No, loader is just part of. Not commit your env. You know what? I can just call it env. And we just add it to our git ignore. Just to make sure that if people, I just want to, okay, so now it's taking everything. We have this. Now, this probably doesn't run, right? .env config not found. Ah, suck a dick. Does it actually need to be called? Oh, I was worried about this. If you're used to remake app, so you can click add .env. We added .env, right? .env. Now update this to .env config node modules. Do I need to do like R, like node? Oh shit, this worked. And then if I go to localhost, your loader for route didn't return anything from loader function. Why? But that doesn't really, nothing really matters to me. I mean, do I need to include? Let's just return an empty object for now. Yada 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 yada. Cool. So now it works. Yada yada. Da 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 da. Oh, which is only set on rebuilding. Of course, it's an environment variable. Okay, that is great because now we will have to include. Let me just quickly grab something. Let's create an .env.example. I always create this file and I always put this in source control. So whenever I'm working for another computer and I need to set up the project, I never forget what things to set. So we need a DotionDB secret and we need an ID. So we have a secret and we need a database ID. So that's great. So let's also put that in the env. And now everybody is looking at the scene like, is he going to spill any secrets? No. Here you have a scene looking at my face instead of the code. Well, I copy this over. And let's this. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the ID, right? Cool. Cool. Now let's go back to the main screen. Okay, now we did this. Now I hope I don't spill the secret in here because I console log it. That's not needed anymore. So let's restart the server again. Cool, it works probably. Let's see. Now, how are we going to test this one out? Let's just go to the mix. Let's do the loader thingy. Is there a way to do a simple, just a simple fetch? Developers.notion.com. Get started. I probably have to. Authorization working with databases. I probably have to. Do I have to? Yeah, so this I took from the. Yeah. Okay, so we need to download. Add this to the project. npm. Why are not? We need to add this. Now let's create. What is actually the API folder for? Let me just open the documentation real quick to see if I need to put this inside of a folder. Before I do that, let me have a quick toilet break. Be right back. I'm back. Let me put it in it. Let me do it right now. Let me put in my in ears. Okay, let's see. Special files, API routes. That is what I'm looking for. Routes are their own API. Okay, so that's basically everything happens in the loader function. Okay, cool. I need this one. So then let's just create a. But what is the API? Okay, let's not be bothered about that. Let's just create a folder called lib. And inside lib, let's create a notion.ts file. Let's go to the getting started. Import client from client. Let's do notion secrets. And then do this. And then I just want to read something. I don't know, just fetch me something. Let's just go to the database, query your database, client new. Then let's export named function. Get posts, I guess, which doesn't need, maybe needs a cursor for the designation. Then, okay, so they have database ID. So basically what you do is you let's just ditch the cursor for now. Wait, notion databases query, and we are going to database ID is database ID. Expected types coming from property database ID. Shit, they included a whole lot of examples. Okay, cool. Why are you... Type string undefined is not definable. The type string type undefined is not definable type string, but it can be undefined. Okay, and then I can just return response, I guess. I don't need to filter anything. I don't want to do that. Then inside here, I want to import get posts from Notion. And then I can just be like console log get post, right? Oh. Didn't return anything from below. Okay, now it's complaining. Ah, come on. Invalid request URL. Why is that? Let me go to intermission before I leak any secrets, but why? I might actually need to initiate it this way. Then do this, then do this. If I find a solution, I will just show you, but... Why? Oh, I am pretty stupid. I think this was the mistake. Okay, fuck off. Do this. Let me run it one more time. Rebuilding. Request failed. Code invalid. Request URL invalid. Invalid request. Yada 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 yada. Okay. Now we go back and we do like... Do I need to pass the like... Bullshit. Maybe this is needed. Okay, and if I do this, I'm almost there. I just don't want to spill any secrets. Okay, so this works. Okay, I can go back to the main screen now. So basically we are getting a strange invalid request error. Request failed, invalid request URL. Let's see if anything pops up if we do this. Oh shit. Invalid request URL. Am I retarded? Let me just... Database ID is this. We don't need a filter, right? I mean... Okay, let's just add a filter. No, because the filter is optional. I'm confused. Oh, maybe I need to put an await here. Oh, wasn't that it? And then it just stops working. Invalid request URL. Hmm. Mm-hmm. But why? Interesting. So do I need to... I don't think I need to include the filters, right? Okay, let's just move on with this one. So const response is await, and then we can do like property status. I might actually just... So is the problem that I didn't grant proper access because this is post instead of receive? Retrieve a database, retrieve data of using space. The endpoint successful integration returns 404 database notion. Okay, so let's just see if this works. Query fee should not be pressed. Instead was... Why is that? Because I'm a fuck. Oh my. Oh, I'm so stupid. This probably works now. I've just moved it to the side because I was working with the environment variables. Oh my god. Okay. What I did was I screwed up the database, the environment variables. I didn't make them strings. So they were, I don't know. It was messy. And I also included the version of the file instead of only picking the ID. So I was just a bit too quick. But now, as you can see, we have everything in here. So let's go back and query this database. Let's just do this. If you go here, now we have it queried. Okay, cool. So now we can also include the filter, which is an object, and which is probably the... Yep. So let's see. Probably the filter has changed a little bit. Filter object. Okay, so it needs a property. Does it really need to be this? So first off, it needs to be an object. And then we can have access to property. And then we can say status. And I guess we capitalize status. And we can say select. And then we need to have contains. We also have equals, right? Yep. Equals. But did we capitalize it? No. Published. So instead of console logging this, can we do something even better? Let's return this as an object, and let's say return data is response dot has more results. Okay, That's cool. And then can we do something with this? What can we do with this? So let's first console log this puppy. So data page has properties and is this one. So let's just do this and then do await get posts. Console await get post, which is this, which is data. And now let's say let's do this const posts. This await this. And then console log posts dot data. It's rebuilding. And now we have posted data. Right. Okay. So we have the ID, we have the created at, last added cover icon parent. Okay, parent. We have the parent, so we have the database, we have the properties, which text summary chronicle, publish date, image source slug, status and title. So let's say we want to actually, what do we want to return? Do we just want to keep it in load like this? Website looks dope, bro. Thanks, Pat. It's coming along quite well. We also have the blog, which we are currently working on with the... oh. And we actually, if I go to post slug, we actually have the... look, it's sticky! And we have a contact page. Excuse me. I want to go in when you publish it out. Yep, which will probably be towards the end of this week. Tomorrow, I think the day after. And if all goes to shit, I will be working on it this weekend as well, because I don't have any appointments this weekend. One of my good friends will go skiing, so there will be less gaming and more working. But let's see. Now I have to go from this to... Okay, so let's remove it from here, because we don't need it here. We have the featured projects, which can just stay there. Actually, we could extract that to a... Nah, let's not do that in Notion. Let's just go to blog. Let's just add the loader here. And then we have to import this Movo. Then we can remove it from here. Because now we will not have... Okay, so if I refresh this, nothing will happen. No console log. If I go to the blog, we will probably see in the terminal that it will fetch the things. Yes! Woohoo! Okay. This is actually a big step. Now let's render this. And how did that work again? API routes. So we don't need a .env. So we have a loader which requests this, and then we have to use fetcher. Okay, so we can basically do like const posts is like use fetcher, which is just this. And then maybe we can do something like... Okay, so this is what needs to be returned. We can say like const render post is equal to post.map, which we use p to say, okay, we loop over the posts. And then we can return this. Why doesn't cities? Okay, it needs to be this. Yeah, of course. Link URL is like, I don't know, p.url. External link is not true, so we can just remove that. Now I am wondering. We have the image. Let's go to the property, because we need to have a look at this right now. PS permanent, yeah, okay. Let's just do any. Okay, well, you know, complain for now. I don't care. Why isn't it opening the property? Okay, it's not opening the property. Property object. Well, this is fine, I guess. This is fine. Okay, let's just see p.files. You know what? Before I actually do this, let's just do this and let's say property data.properties. Data, I don't know, give me data 0. I'm pretty sure this does exist. But maybe TypeScript is right and I'm just an idiot. No, I'm not an idiot. TypeScript's an idiot. Cool. Okay, so we have text, which is an ID, which is multi-select. So then we have an image, which has an ID type files and files. Okay. So type p dot. P has a. But I don't want to return this. I want to return this, and I want to say p dot properties dot slug dot. Well, you know what? Let's normalize this before we actually send it over. Const normalize posts. Is like posts. Let me open Git for this because I did this for another project. But we'll go over it together. Yep. Let's say normalize results. Results. Actually, let's create a function from this. Normalize results, which has data. Does Notion client have like types? Okay, I will get to that later. So then we say return data dot map d is name. Jeez. Okay, so basically what we are doing is before we return like the get post, which returns like all this gibberish, we say, okay, before, instead of response to the results, we are going to only send back like the normalized results. So this way we don't have to go into this file and every time we use the Notion data be like, okay, let's grab the data, let's map over the data, let's extract all the properties, let's relook at all the properties. We only have to worry about it in this file. This is the AP, this is the way we send it back to our application. So if anything breaks, which is related to the properties, we don't have to fix it inside of our application everywhere. We just go to this file, we look at this file and we go like, okay, so maybe the, I don't know, like down here we have the image property changed on the Notion API. We have to go back inside of the Notion file. We have to update the file type to d.properties.files. The new thingy that has been added. So let's say that each post should have a title, which will be like d.properties dot title dot title. You know what? Let's just return this for now. So let's say normalize results. And let's say, oh wait. Unexpected error, Notion. This actually needs to be in. Okay, now we can go to this. Undefined. That's cool. Okay, so this works. So now we are good to go. So basically what we want to do is be like, okay, so we have title. What do we get here? Title is an array with no, why does it? This is actually, now I know why the Notion API was so freaking cumbersome to work with. Because for some reason it likes to include a title inside of an array inside of... It's so... Why? Why would you do that? So basically you have like properties which have an ID and then... Okay, property object which doesn't work. No. Fuck you. Now I have to go to this. So string type string name. Title. Each database must have property with title. Yeah, okay, but... Okay, so it needs to be plain text. How do I know this? Because I have another project open on the right. I don't get it. Why do I need to include... Why does it include itself inside of a fucking array? It can have multiple... What? Why? Notion Y is title array. Okay, let's not be bothered by it. This works. We say if it has a title and it has title there, there's okay. So we need a title. We need a... Let's just look at this. We need a slug. Let's just change this to normalize post. Let's say slug is d.properties. Slug, which is a question mark, and then we can say like which is text, and text has... Does this work? Slug is not defined. Slug is defined. It's so cumbersome and the API documentation is so bad. But oh well. Rich text. Is this also a fucking array? Oh god, why? Tell me why are you in a freaking array? Okay, I'm not going to be mad about this any longer. I will just go with the flow and then at the end I will do a rant. Because I really don't see why this needs to be an array and why this makes sense. It's just a fucking text field, my man. This can be an... This can just be an... Then... Someone could cover image is likely dot properties. Okay, so this will actually be a fun thing to see how this works. It has files. So let's say if there is an image, let's go to files. And let's say file 0, which is an object. So, okay, we have that's that. So I think we can pretty much do like this for the summary. Let's just stop it at summary. Okay, cool. So now we should have enough to render the overview. Now, this is normalized posts. So this pretty much get posts, and we are going to get a get post. Now, do I need to create a type for this? I don't want to create a type for this. I really don't. Cool. Okay, so now we fetch this. We can go to the blog, and we know that's title slug cover image C. So now we can do const render posts is posts.map. And we can say p is return like this. And then we can remove anything inside of here. Even the extra thing. And we can say render posts. And we can return this. And the link URL will be the p.slug. External link will not be here. Will be cover image. This will be p title. And this will be p.summary. Posts.map is not a function. Also fine. Loader function. Hey. Hey. Good evening, John. Just finished the day. I'm waiting for dinner now, then studies. Good evening, my man. How are you doing? So cool. Now we have all these posts, and now for sure we can see that it's way too big. Which is fine, because then we are just going to do this. Let's say if we do this, does this work? Yeah, way better. How was your day? My day is going great so far. We are working on the blog and we are getting posts from Notion now, so that's great. And I can see the slug is working as well. So this is also great. Now the only thing I need to do is to make the summaries, all the summaries, way smaller. So this post will cover this if you... Okay, how does this work? Gotta admit, CSS is a bit tough. CSS is a little hard, yes. It can be a little hard. I mean, it just requires a lot of practice. And I think the best thing you can do is just try and recreate other people's layouts. Walk into problems, resolve the problems, and yeah. I think I showed you a website, right? Where you can find like landing pages you can recreate with some information on the colors and all that kind of fun stuff. I will once complete this lecture of CSS, which takes so long. Yeah, I actually, with all due respect, don't recommend. Yeah, don't go through 8-hour lectures. Just build. It's not CSS is not rocket science. CSS requires a lot of practice. I don't know. That could just be me. This isn't all that readable. I agree, it's just someone's left for, by the way, on 3 hours, 45 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely, you ain't getting any stupider or something. That's the saying we have in as you wordt er niet stommer van. You ain't getting any stupider from watching lectures. It's just, I think it's much more valuable to spend 8 hours building, learning from, because it's even CSS. It's nothing more than problem solving. It's nothing more than walking into issues, Googling the solution, copy pasting it, seeing that it works or it doesn't work. And then if you got that down from there, you will level up and be like, okay, now I've got this down. I will now research what's the best way. I have to make the cards darker. Yeah, this works way better. So so should I follow the text version more? I don't know. I think you should. If I don't know, is there can I find this lecture online for free, or can I find something? Then I can walk you through it how I would approach it. Maybe I will just refrain from using the summaries. How would that look? That looks way worse. Let me open the link.
इस वीडियो में मैं आप लोगों को CSS स्टार्टिंग से लेके एंड तक सिखाऊंगा। ये वीडियो मैं पूरा एग्जांपल ड्रिवन अप्रोच के साथ।
What is CSS a first CSS website? Yeah, I don't speak Hindi. That's for sure. So you have the box model, practice set, constant display.
प्रैक्टिस कर लेते हैं। सो गाइस यहाँ पर टाइम आ चुका है चैप्टर 2 के प्रैक्टिस सेट को सॉल्व करने का, और हुआ है फिर बनाऊंगा ताकि ऑब्वियस बताऊं रेड कलर के आइटम्स को डालना है। नाउ सो गाइस अब टाइम आ चुका है, लिखा हुआ है इस बार की जैसे हम
What are you building in the end?
ठीक है।
Okay, so this is the code. Text item Y1. Let's card item alt image width.
ठीक है। फोन स्प्लैश जो है आपके लिए रियल टाइम में इमेज ले आएगा, बट प्रोडक्शन में
I'm just going through it really quickly to see what and how. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So from the looks of it, I would just... I would go through the notes, so like all these chapters to get a grasp of what everything is. Because I think this is pretty good. Because the code I noticed in the video was that if you do a CSS tutorial and you set a width of 200 pixels on an image inside of the HTML, you're not doing a CSS tutorial. You're not doing it well. That's my humble opinion. So the way I would do it is to go through the notes to get a grasp of everything that's available to you. Maybe go through the practice sets, so just skip to the practice sets, ditch everything in between and just read up on it yourself. I mean, what's the practice set? I think it's just practicing what's being handled in the notes. So read the notes, do the practice set, and then quickly move on to the site I showed you. Because you need hands-on experience. And you don't have to know anything. I mean, I noticed in the notes that it's talking about flex, about float, about grid, so all nice tools. And good information to have in the back of your mind. So you should pretty much know when to use flex and when to use grid. And I think that was in the notes. So you can read up on that, do the practice runs, and then make something yourself. Copy over that Starbucks landing page. Copy over the Ableton page. Got it. I'm gonna follow the instruction. Yeah. You should do that. I don't like these images. Yeah, it will definitely save time, and I think it will. Well, I don't know actually if it will save the time of skipping through this video and going through all the instructions. Yeah, in the end it will save you time. Yeah, surely. That statement is true. I think you will learn faster this way. Because learning is all about, especially programs, all about making mistakes and learning how to resolve your own mistakes. Learning how to look through documentation, learning how to navigate Stack Overflow, Oh, there's my package. Be right back. Need to open the door. That's the first of 3 packages for today. Ugh. Okay, let's just go with the flow with the block for now. And actually, if you have any more questions, just put them in the chat about learning CSS. Maybe I will make my own course. No, not anytime soon. It's on the planning, definitely. Maybe a small series on how to learn front end. But it's definitely not something I will do short term. Maybe I'll do some paid membership, mentorship. But first, I need to get my own business off the ground. Got it. I'm gonna start studying now. From tomorrow I have my technical training, but I'm definitely gonna come up with a question later. Text him and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Have a great day, man. Enjoy your dinner. And yeah, if you have any questions, Twitter DMs, Twitch, in chat, everything's fine. Go get it, my man. I don't think I've included the correct... I haven't included 700. Did I actually use font bold anywhere else? Only there. Am I going to include it? I'm going to include it. So that means... Yeah, I might... No, I'm not going to include it. That's silly. Let's just keep it this way. Because how does the homepage look now? I actually like the ESM look. Yeah, it's better. It gives a bit more Now more lines fit. It's better readable. Okay, the image is something I can work on. But hey, I mean, nothing's perfect on the first try, right? So we have this. Now, what are we going to do? So pretty much if we go to routes, so let's go to the blog. Yeah, so type any. This is what I hate about TypeScript. And now I remember that TypeScript isn't always that awesome. Because if I go to my Notion file, it says, oh, data is not defined. And Notion, actually, no, wait, Notion TypeScript result type. Do we have like... I'm just looking for some... What are the right types? Oh, I hate TypeScript, man. No, that's too big of a statement. I don't hate TypeScript, but it's just so... You're constantly searching for the correct types. And maybe that's just because I don't have that much. From error, from client. Let's just look at the package. But that's not the way it is. Why isn't this any easier? Okay, let's just not be bothered by it for now. It sucks, but hey. Data, any. Let's just do. Let's just do any. Fuck it. And this needs to be a post. So we can create a post type. So type export type post is equal to. We know that title is a string. String. The slug is a string. The cover image is a string. And the summary is a string. And it all can be null. So from here we can do like import type lib Notion. Cool. So that does work. That doesn't give me any problems. It works with the thing. This looks good. This looks great. Now the only thing we need to do is like do like /blog /p.slug. Now if we make this like 12, this doesn't work because it needs to be a string. Okay, so that works. So if we go this, we get to here. And this is great. Because now we can go to... Okay, what do we want to do now? Do we first want to code up the blog page so that we fetch the correct data and all the and render all the text correctly inside of the blog page? Or do I want to implement the basic nation first? I probably want to implement the basic nation first. And maybe I want to redesign the block cards. I mean, here it looks cool. Here it just looks like too much. But okay, let's not be bothered by that for now. Basic nation post, basic nation post, basic nation post, basic nation post, basic nation post. Let's do the basic nation. That's something we'll need, so that's something we'll need to implement. Let's see. Okay, let's see. We need to go to Notion and we have to see what do we need to include. So for basic nation, I know for a expect that we can have like a next cursor, which is response dot next cursor, and we have like has more, so we know that it has more or it doesn't have more. We can do like response dot has more. Let's see if we can Notion API basic nation. Let's have a little look-see, shall we? So, do we need to include the cursor? So let's first say page size. Let's include a page size of 3. So we should have 3 pages. Because we have 1, 2, 3 rows. First one will return 3, then we return another page, so we have 3 pages. So this works. Okay. So then we also need to give the cursor, which is a string, I guess. Which is either a string or... No. And then we also have to include that right here. Like start cursor. So that's cursor. Undefined. Excuse me. Okay, so that's either string or undefined. So now that we have that, we do that. But so how do we do basic nation in like... How do I pass something back? When your name file like this. Okay, so we have the basics. Data loading. I might add a param or a search param. Yeah, let's do that. So if we click that, we will update the search param, and then we know that we get a new cursor. We place the cursor to the... But how do we keep the current list? Let's just see if there's any remix basic nation, which I actually looked at before. The ID behind page is that we only fetch the item's current pay of the current the value with respect to URL. So we have the questions all page 1. Here each page using server-side rendering and showcase. Okay. Use loaded data remix. Get questions. Yeah. Happens here. Okay. We list over here. So then questions route. Current page, simple link component, question around questions is this, previous page. previous next. Okay, current pay. Okay, this is something I don't need, I guess. I'm just very interested to see how... Yeah, exactly. Oh, yep. So basically we use previous and next, and of course we don't... This would only be my concern if I would do something like infinite... appending infinite items, which I do on all the publisher framework. Notion, API integration things. Sorry, my brain is just a little bit overloaded with everything I need to do. Okay, but let's follow this tutorial because I'm totally fine with having pages. Like, let's go next and then you just load in 3 new blog posts, right? So let's just follow this one. I don't have that big of an ego to say, oh, I can do this better. Let's just go with this tutorial. Let's just do this. So this is actually how I learn things. I mean, I've never done page ignition before. I have done page ignition before, obviously, but never in Remix. Let's follow this tutorial, see if everything works, check it against the conventions, and then after everything works, after following the tutorial, we can go into the code and make our own little tweaks and see where that will get us. So we are missing a cursor. So let's also combine the two things because I know we will be working with query param, like search URL search params. So loader function search params. So we no longer, this is actually a little outdated. So use loaded data. So we are in here. Data fetch kidnapping here. We await the questions, we return the questions, and we return the question round. We have the data from the loader now. Okay, so that's pretty much in here. We might actually need to include a loading state, but we'll do that later. I know that's actually something that's part of let me quickly report this bot. Cool. Okay, so handling navigation. Let us assume that our loader data provides the value current page, which it does. So we actually have to return the cursor inside of Notion. What is it complaining about? That it doesn't have a cursor. That's okay. But that's actually not that big of a deal. Why is it? It's optional, so I have to do it like this, right? Yep. Return posted data. So, question route. And we have a link, which links to that. So basically he does this by exposing. So let's do data is post.data. Let's return the next cursor. Is it has next cursor and has more when post has more. So now that we know this, we don't do anything with this, but we say we have to pass the cursor instead of the, but what does the cursor look like? So let me console log this. Map is not a... Oh, fuck. Ah, oops. Sorry. Cool, this works. And this is the next cursor. Cool. So now if I take this one and I place it in here as a string, it will get me 3 new articles. Yep. Oh shit, sorry. So now we have a next cursor. That is nice. So I might want to... Yeah. So I will probably just call that search program like cursor. Because now I can be like has more and has... Does Notion have something like has previous start cursor? A cursor returned from previous response used to request. Treat this as an opaque value. Okay. Then a fight which is the results from the beginning with list. Only if one has more is true. Used to receive the next page of the results by passing the value as a start cursor parameter to the same endpoint. But if I want to go back, the integrator can use next in the request to receive next, but using this sneak, the integrator can continue to make requests or just part. Okay, so each basic next endpoint follows the request start cursor. A cursor returned from a previous response used to request the next page of through this paper. So is the start cursor like the start cursor? So you can go back and you can go forward, because that would be quite nice. So besides has next cursor, I also have to include the start cursor, which is response.start cursor. Why doesn't this work? That is odd. Oh, it's in the result. Oops. Oops, this is start cursor. So we only have the next cursor, but what if we want to go back? Maybe I have to create state for this, but...
Next cursor entire results array rather than the most recent request. We can just need to remove.
This is not what I want. And do I have to use infinite load here? Yeah, I don't really care. I just want... Am I thinking too difficult? Or thinking... Yeah, this is the page I was already on. I think I'm thinking completely wrong. I'm not thinking straight here. So default is 100 thingies. So we have the results. Don't we have a previous cursor? Endpoints which return a list of page layer allow integration requests with receiving an array of results and the next cursor in response. Integration, you can use the next cursor as the next part of the list. Using this, the integrator continue to make requests, so you can only create next. But I don't want to receive the next page. Then I have to do some client side. Okay, we can... I don't really care if we do like infinite load, but then this should support infinite load. Which it will definitely not. Ah! Let's just... Maybe someone did this on Dev 2. Isn't this just... I don't know. Let's do like previous... I just can't imagine that it doesn't include a previous cursor. As more next cursor object result. Interesting. Because users might be updating relations in real time, we choose to implement cursor-based basic nation for loading relations properties. This allows us to return a bound number of pages from the relation property inclines to perform. Basic nation number. We can reuse this basic nation load for rollups because load requires loading during the later relation. But there's a catch just like this for most other compute live page related. We may not have all the data we need to put the final roll page with a set. Okay, some are hashed into a cursor. Compute partial results. Okay, that didn't make me any smarter. Let's just look at other codes. So I need to save the previous cursor somewhere. Which I can do. It's just not... Why don't they just include pre... Let's just get back the entire result. I just want to know if there is a current cursor, we have a next cursor and has more. Okay, so we can have a next cursor. But we don't have a current cursor. So we know when we're at the page partial list. Yeah, of course, but how do I know? How? Okay, JS implementing cursor based designation. Okay, and what if I include this one? Do we get something else? Next cursor, true. But how do we keep track of all the previous cursors? Do we actually do start and end? So if it's none, we do none, and like start end. I don't know. I think I'm just thinking about this way too difficult. Because if I send a request to the server, I also know where I'm coming from. So I can just keep track of the current cursor. And yeah, I guess that's alright. What time is it? It's 4:15. Okay. I know how I'm going to do this. I know how I am going to do this. So, okay. We have the data and we have a next cursor and we have this. So we can do URL search params. We can load a function. So new URL is request URL. And what is the difference between the search param? So in addition to reading search param in a loader, you often need to extend them in the components too. Okay, then you can use search params. Why is my computer taking off? What's going on here? Okay, my computer is taking off for some fucking reason. Why is my computer making this much noise? Just a second. I might be back soon. I will have to restart the stream. I think OBS is hogging my computer's resources for some reason.